Our research title is The Effects of Facebook to the Mental Health of the Grade 12 STEM Students of PHINMA University of Pangasinan. This study aims to determine the various effects of Facebook to the mental health of the Grade 12 STEM students of PHINMA University of Pangasinan. It aims to answer the following. 1. What is the profile of the respondents in terms of the following? Age, sex, and year level. 2. What is the extent exposure to Facebook among the respondents? 3. What is the status of mental health of the respondents? And number 4, is there a significant effect of using Facebook to the mental health of the respondents?
This study only focuses with the effects of Facebook to the mental health of grade 12 STEM students of PHINMA University of Pangasinan. Also, this study will be observed this semester to determine the possible outcomes of this issue to the people involved. The researchers will conduct this study to learn more about the status of students' thoughts on how Facebook can affect their mental health. Also, the main goal of this study is to let people gain awareness on how excess use of Facebook can affect their mental health. This study will add information to students on how they should manage to operate Facebook. The data need to be shared to help other unaware students to prevent themselves from excess use of Facebook that can affect their mental health.
Our world is experiencing a flourishing growth to the modernizations of our technology, which primarily concerns the present generations. These modernizations rapidly cover the whole world with few positive and negative impacts. As days pass by, the following issue of excess usage of social media, especially the Facebook, become timely and relevant. One of the most important contributions developed was the usage of social media, the most important tool to connect and build interactions among individuals. Social media's applications are significant to our lives, most especially Facebook, which truly affects our well-being or our mental health conditions. Furthermore, the researchers will conduct this research to determine the various effects of Facebook to the mental health of the students. The researchers' motivation in pursuing this research study is to gain knowledge about Facebook and how it can affect the students' mental health. It also motivates the researchers to let be an eye-opener to those students who suffer from mental health that by the help of Facebook, they can express themselves through posting or sharing their emotions and opinions. It motivates the researchers to pursue this study to know what are the effects of the Facebook to the mental health of the students, and lastly, to educate their future researchers and students about this research.
Present generations become fully covered with the rapid growth of modernization. These include the students who are the common users of social media applications, especially Facebook. One of the major factors that affect the extent exposure to Facebook was the inserting limitations and proper usage of it. Researchers conduct this study to eradicate the lack of knowledge and to raise awareness about these certain societal norms. This will be helpful to the students to become more knowledgeable and to lessen the various effects of Facebook to the mental health.
As such, the result of the study will be useful to the following.
The Philippines. This study will help our nation to become fully aware about the happenings in its surroundings. It will enlighten the whole nation about the impacts of social media, especially Facebook, to the status of mental health of every students.
Government. The study would serve as an additional basis wherein it will help the government to create a better solution by preventing the bad impacts of Facebook to the individual's mental health.
Community. This study shall enable the community to provide an environment of awareness, encouraging the people to conduct researches to have a valid impact in the society.
School. The information about the effects of Facebook to the mental health will benefit the school in terms of the insights of the administrations.
The administrations. Research will be led to counseling of the dropout student because to addiction to computer games and social media. It enables the administration to understand more situation of their students.
Instructors. This research will give additional information to the instructors about the things that is happening to their students in a way that they will give some advices.
Students. The researcher will open the eyes of the students that some of their habits can affect their academic performances in a bad way. In this case, they will be knowledgeable on how will they avoid these habits.
Research will help them have a reference about this problem. It eliminates the chances of the future researchers on having hard times researching for the societal issues about the social media.
In this research, the sources that would primarily aim in developing and providing information for the progress of the study will be the respective data that the researchers themselves have gathered and compiled throughout the research process. In addition to this, questionnaires were used to fully maximize how data gathering and obtain measurable data.
Data were gathered through giving our respondents the same set of questionnaires per survey. The respondents have answered all the questions accordingly. Furthermore, the researchers will accumulate and tally the gathered data to determine and interpret the findings.
The researcher's general topic and problem is to determine the effects of Facebook to the mental health of students. Due to the great amount of senior high school students in PHINMA University of Pangasinan, the researchers decided to limit the number of respondents to only one cluster of their chosen senior high school strand. Next, another limitation that the researchers have encountered is the limitation of instruments. The researchers chose to use rating scale, which posed some difficulties when some of the respondents experienced difficulties in understanding its format. Having observed this, the researchers then made sure that at least one of them would give detailed instructions for the respondents to understand. The final limitation that the researchers encountered is the limitation on their chosen methodology. The researchers chose to use the quantitative method instead of the qualitative and mixed method. This means that their research will lack wordy explanations that will further explain the findings of their study. For this, the researchers made sure to make use of visual aids that could be easily understood by the readers of the research.
These sections presents the profile of the 42 respondents in terms of age and gender. Respondents was obliged to determine their basic profile by stating it on a survey questionnaires. For the statistical treatment of data gathered and collected, the frequency count and percentage distribution was used.
The first part of Table 1 depicts the frequency distribution of male and female respondents of the research. A total of 69.5% of the respondents are female, while 30.95% of the respondents are male.
The second part of the Table 1 shows the range of the age of the respondents. It shows that 73.81% of the respondents are ages 16 to 17 years old, 23.81% of the respondents are ages 18 to 19 years old, 2.38% of the respondents are ages 20 years old and above, while none of the respondents are ages 15 years old and below. The Table 3 shows the frequency distribution of the extent of exposure to Facebook of the respondents. It clearly shows that most of the students' exposure to Facebook was 2 to 4 hours with a percentage of 42.86, while least of the students' exposure to Facebook was 8 hours and above with a percentage of 7.14.
The transmuted description of the respondent's status of mental health was moderate, and a descriptive equivalent of sometimes and an average weighted mean of 3.15375, as gathered with the following indicator statements with the respective weighted mean.
This section presents the relationship of the two variables including the dependent and independent variables. To successfully analyze it, researchers gathered data through survey questionnaires for a study. After that, data was tallied and computed to be prepared for the computing of Pearson-R correlation. The computed value, which is 0.2, means that the two variables have weak correlation. It simply means that there is significant difference between Facebook and mental health. Based on the findings of this study, female respondent was the majority users of Facebook. We researchers relate that for being expressive and well socialized of females. These conclude that they are the ones who are the avid users of Facebook. Also, the result shows that the two variables have weak correlation. This shows that the Facebook does not affect the status of the mental health of the students.
Social media use is very common to students nowadays due to the rapid escalation of modernization brought about by new technologies. The researchers encourage the families of the students to put limitations on how their children use Facebook. This is to make sure that the students remain disciplined throughout their use of social media and avoid harboring any possible negative effects to their mental health.
Social media is a part of our daily lives. Some of us can make our day complete without browsing social media, especially Facebook. People encounter different contents such as funny, violent, and sexual contents that may trigger or improve our stress. Our study aims to determine if using Facebook affects our thinking, behavior, and mental health. This study can help spread new information and awareness on how Facebook affects our mental health and how to prevent it. The state of the current immense social media apprehension and how it can affect the mental health of people, most especially teenagers and students, encourage the researchers to conduct a study to open up knowledge and further discuss the correlation between students' usage of Facebook to the state of their mental health.
Like the research title suggests, this study will primarily focus on the effects of Facebook to the mental health of the students, whereas the researchers randomly selected 42 grade 12 STEM students of PHINMA University of Pangasinan. This study is conducted to this extent to open up discussions of the possible outcomes that Facebook may cause to the mental health of the students.
There are three limitations that the researchers themselves have encountered. First, limitation on their chosen population or subject. Second, limitation of the instrument. Third, limitation of their chosen methodology. These are further discussed in the presentation for limitation and their solutions.
The research questions that the researchers came up with exhibit importance on how to contribute in providing credible information for the researchers. The questions fully elaborate the various effects of Facebook in the mental health of students.
On Facebook, the source that had helped the researchers the most would be Labragues. According to Labrague, Facebook has fast become a staple in every people's lives, especially to the students, and that Facebook use may have an impact on an individual's well-being, which is what the researchers are trying to find the relationship of. Next, for the mental health, the source that had helped the researchers the most would be from Martinez. In her literature, Martinez discussed the potential factors that comes with Facebook usage that affects its users' mental health. This is beneficial to the researchers in a way that it opens up the discussion on whether Facebook use has an effect to the student's mental health or not.
The researchers choose to use quantitative research design as the research methodology as it is the most efficient way to bring out valid reliable, and unbiased results that will be greatly beneficial to researchers' study.
The respondents of the study were composed of grade 12 STEM health students, wherein 42 students from the chosen population were picked using the fishbowl sampling technique.
Rating scale. Rating scale is a close-ended survey question used to represent respondents' feedback in a comparative way. After conducting the study, the findings showed that students aged 16 to 17, which were female, were mostly the active users of Facebook. Majority of them spends 2 to 3 hours on Facebook, but there's only a little correlation between the students' usage of Facebook and their mental health.
Our study is unique and original because of its research title. All of the ideas that we've come up to is through brainstorming, which makes the most out of it. It is surely unique and original because of the conclusions and recommendations that we've come up to. Lastly, our research methodology, which leads us to a correlational result.
The strongest part of this study was the topic we have chosen. The topic we have chosen, which is the effect of Facebook to the mental health, was very common and gives a lot of benefit for us. We researchers don't need to worry about the sources because it is very rampant and relevant to every social networking site. Also, the respondents can easily relate to it. However, some respondents don't take it seriously, and we can treat that as the weakest part of this study.
Researchers recommend to every student who use Facebook, especially females, since they are the most active users of Facebook, to make sure that they discipline themselves when using this social media includes putting limitation on how long they use Facebook and controlling what personal information they wish to share to ensure that their mental health do not sacrifice because of this.
The importance of this study is to determine the various effects of Facebook to the mental health of the students. It serves an eye-opener to every student who are abusing the existence of Facebook. Furthermore, it helps in building your ideas and gaining more knowledge.
The researcher wishes to change and add more respondents to their study to obtain more credible data that will surely be beneficial to the study they are conducting. The researchers would also like to improve. In terms of physical means, the researcher would also like to assure that they will give more patience and perseverance in improving their study. If I could go back to the start of our research, I will take all the advices of our teacher accordingly and wisely to do it properly. Also, I will find a better setting and divide the works equally. If I were to be a researcher again, I will be more responsible on what is assigned to me and have confidence every time.
I would like to advise myself to be more patient and determined to formulate a productive research.
And this ends our video presentation. I am Elijah Corpus, the leader of this group from 12 STEM 3. Thank you for watching and God bless you all.